So yeah, like I was saying, like, you've got to be self-motivated. You know, you've got to motivate yourself. No one's going to do the work for you. You can sit around and hope for some shit to fall out of the sky and magically appear and make your life better. But unless you win the lottery or something, that's never going to happen. So, you know, you've got to put in the work, you know. It's okay to sit there, it's okay to sit and think and make a plan and come up with a strategy and, you know, have like a game plan or whatever you want to call it, or a plan of attack, however you want to look at it, and then, you know, work towards that. But if all you're going to do is talk about it and think about it and not do anything, you know, it's like people that want to talk about manifesting shit, but you can't manifest anything without putting in action, if you see what I mean. You can't manifest anything. You can talk about manifest this, manifest that. Like, I manifest shit. We all manifest shit. We all have the power to manifest shit in our life. But you won't ever manifest anything without action. You can think about it and talk about it as much as you want. If you see what I mean. If you don't work towards it or do anything to try to achieve that or acquire whatever it is, then it's never gonna happen. You know? So you could talk about it for the next 20 years. Nothing but, you know, if you don't, you know, put in any work or do anything, then you never get anywhere. You never make any progress, like, you know. So, yeah. Yeah. And to me, like, I'm big on, like, I've talked about it before, I'm big, like, the goal as a human being is to evolve, like, to grow, to become better, you know, to be great, you know, to do great shit, you know, to, you know, try to live to, like, your full potential, like, try to find, like, what is your calling in life and, you know, be impactful in that, you know, so, yeah, just got to stay motivated, mate.
So I mean, when my wife divorced me,
Yeah.
it took me a number of years really to gain focus again.
Yeah, yeah.
Or get myself back on my feet again.
Mm.
It didn't just happen, you know. I think it took about, to be honest with you, I think it took 10 years for me to fully get myself back on my feet and to relax again, basically, you know, after losing my home.
Yeah.
If you saw me.
Yeah.
And, you know, now 5 years later, I'm starting to relax more and more in
Yeah.
life, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, as you do get older, you do, apparently you get more compassionate in life and you get more empathy. You should do anyway. You get wiser as well, you should. You know, unless you're one of these old grannies, sorry, one of these old ladies,
Yeah.
or old people, sorry, I should say, who are watching television all day and not doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know, not getting anywhere with their own mind, you know, not researching, not learning anything really. Some people, aren't they? If you saw me, I feel.
Yeah.
They waste a lot of time, I feel, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I do not watch the news at all now, you know. I mean, I think the last time I watched the BBC really was about 20 years ago. Anything on the BBC, anything like that.
Yeah.
And I've given it up in a kind of way, you know. I've given it all up now, you know, and I feel a lot better. You know, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need to. Sometimes I think you know, like what goes on in the world, you find out by people around you anyway.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, but I think like a lot of people do waste too much time watching the news.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean.
Yeah, true.
And that's ruining their life if you think about it, you know.
And trouble is, a lot of people watch the news and just like believe everything they see and hear.
Yeah.
That's the trouble with the news. Like,
some people
it's supposed to be non-biased or impartial, but we all know the truth is, the reality is that that's the furthest thing from the truth. It's like all these large media companies, like, you know, they've all got agendas and sponsors and stuff like this, and so, you know, it's not impartial. It's, you know, it's very, very partial. Like, you know, what they show you and what they tell you is a very, very small fraction and snippet of what is going on in the world, if you see what I mean, what's really happening. And a lot of the time, it comes along with their own media bias, if you see what I mean. They give their opinion and their perspective rather than just being neutral.
Well, I think a lot of people are waking up today.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think things are changing.
Things are changing. People are fed up. A lot of people are awake and aware to what's really going on in the world today, and the large majority of people are realising that the way things are set up, it was not set up to be favourable, in our favour. The system, if you see what I mean, is designed to keep you like a slave, like they say in the Matrix. You know, it's designed to keep you like a slave, you know. So a lot of people are aware of this fact and are waking up today, and just, you know, that is their motivation in life. A lot of people out there today, their motivation in life right now is trying to wake up other people, you know.
Whereas a lot of people out there don't even know they've been colonised.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that don't even, I didn't even know that until, I suppose, about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, even so, you know, you've got to enjoy life. You know, I feel like we're quite lucky today, really, you know, to have electric, one, you know.
Yeah.
And we're lucky to have the internet in a way, you know,
Yeah.
so we can learn.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And I just feel we're lucky in many ways in this modern world, and people don't appreciate it really.
Oh, yeah,
you
it's
know?
true, yeah.
I feel like we got too much.
Well, that's why I'm saying that. That's why a lot of time, like especially like, if you're born after the year 2000, yeah. A lot of people, well, I'd say a little bit later than that. If you're born after like 2005, yeah, you're born into all this. You don't know. Excuse me. Like, okay, what I'm trying to say is that I was born in the 90s, yeah. I was born in 92, yeah. I'm a big believer in the 90s babies, yeah, were the last generation that were able to experience both, able to experience both, if you see what I mean. Like, you know what I mean? You know, we were that last generation to experience it, you know, growing up without it, and then when you got to like your early teenage years, all of a sudden, these things now exist, if you see what I mean. So you grew up initially not having it, not having a mobile phone, not having any internet, just watching the odd tape on VHS, on a VHS.
And now they've got it at school, and you know, like the children have got mobiles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like even my son, like talking about that, like, my son has a class every week where I think he does it twice a week, I think. It's technology class, you know, where they learn about computers and tablets and phones and all these various different things, and you know, yeah. It's like for my daughter's 4 years old, yeah. Well, she'll be 5 soon, yeah. But she knows how to open up the computer. She knows how to start it up. She knows how to use the mouse and what she needs to click on, you know what I mean, to bring it up, to open up the page. She knows how to, you know, she knows what icon she needs to click on to, like, if she wants to, like, watch YouTube for kids, because obviously we've got it, like, the YouTube for kids set up, so they can't, you know, it's restricted, you know, they can only see the stuff for kids. And then, you know, because she's so young, and then you've got, like, Netflix, you know what I mean, for kids, if you see what I mean, as well. But she knows how to operate all that already, you know what I mean, she knows how to, you know, what to click on, and, you know, even the other day, she was plugging in my wife's headphones into the laptop. She was plugging in the headphones into the laptop and sitting there with the headphones on. And I was trying to turn down the volume. Yeah, I was going to turn it down manually. Like I was going to use the mouse to click on the volume bar and turn it down. She's like, "Daddy, you don't need to do that. I can turn it down. I've got a thing on the headphone jack that I can turn it down with."
Yeah.
So she's already aware of the fact that she can use this little sliding button on the headphone jack to turn it up and down, if you see what I mean.
I mean, like
at 4 years old, like, you know, it's just, to me that's like incredible. Like it's you know.
Yeah, in 20 years' time, your daughters and that generation can be quite smart, aren't they?
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Because they've had the internet. And you learn so much when you're younger.
Yeah.
It's when you're older you don't take so much in. Do you know what I mean? You know, so they're learning like bright little souls they are. As soon as they're born, really, you know, and they're learning about the internet and all this, you know, and learning, you know.
Yeah.
It's amazing, really.
It's true.
I think.
Yeah. It's true. Definitely. But yeah, going back to motivation, I just want everyone to remember out there, right? That motivation comes and goes. Yeah. It fluctuates. Yeah. Some days you're going to feel more motivated than others, and that's just a reality. Human beings, we're like that. Like you said earlier, ebbs and flows, ups and downs. So, this is where discipline and your own focus comes into play. You have to be disciplined. Yeah? Motivation, large percentage of motivation is discipline. Getting up every day and having a routine and sticking to it and being focused, not compromising with yourself. When you start to compromise with yourself, like I said earlier, that you start to give yourself too many options and you start procrastinating, start putting off shit, start, you know, just do what needs to be done, you know. You might not feel like doing it, you might not want to do it, you might be tired,
Do it for yourself.
you might be exhausted, you might be ill at the time, you might have a flu or a cold, whatever, you know. Keep going, keep pushing. It's mind over matter. And I know in some circumstances that doesn't apply, and I understand that that's true. But for a large majority of people, it's just mind over matter. Just have to get on with it, you know. You've got to be strong mentally, and just know that, like I said earlier, it's as simple as, if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? No one's going to do it for you, you know. So, that's it. Anyway, mate, before we wrap it up and call it a night, all about
motivation.
Any final words, any closing statements, anything you want to leave with the people before we...
Yeah, I think...
You know?
I think it's just important to be yourself. You know, a lot of people will try to be someone else out there, I think, you know.
That's true.
And I think it's really just important to be yourself. And like you say, focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Is important.
Yeah.
And start trying to enjoy life rather than moan about it.
Yeah.
I suppose, you know, appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult to especially with the price of living going up, but we still got to appreciate, you know. I think like sometimes in the past, things have been tougher for people. You know, some people have been sacked out of their cities, you know, and had to walk through deserts and all sorts, you know, and no food, you know. And I just feel that we're lucky that we've got still food around us, you know, to buy.
A lot of people take what we have today for granted. Even the average person, that's the average working individual, you know. Like we always say, as long as you've got a roof over your head, some food in the cupboard, some money in the bank to do, you know, the priorities and the necessities of life that you need to take care of and look after, so that you've got a roof over your head, your bills are paid, you've got food, you've got whatever else you need, and life's not that bad, is it?
If everyone was rich though, if everyone was rich,
Yeah.
everyone would work, would they? No?
Yeah.
Isn't that not true?
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of people that would still work.
What? Digging and things?
No, well, I'm not saying people got to be rich, but I think there's a lot of jobs that could be paid a hell of a lot more than what they're actually paid, so that they can earn a decent...
You know, they have, that's why I think this is why the system's got to be like it is, because it's got to sort of have a workforce to do all the digging and...
No, it does, but at the same time... No, it does. That's why, like you said, it's very...
Because if everyone was rich, no one would want to do anything.
Do certain jobs, they wouldn't.
You know, there would be a lot of lazy. There would be home watching TV all the time or watching films, you know. Yeah. If everyone was rich.
But I'm not saying everyone has to be rich, because like you said, that would not work. That would just you know, that's a fantasy. You know, that would never be reality. That's just a fantasy. You know, that's just, you know, an ideal you know,
So
scenario.
I'm not nowhere near being rich, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty poor, I feel, you know, but I've always been happy in life.
We're rich in spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's it, you know.
Rich in spirit, mate.
That's it.
That's it, you know.
That's it, you
That's
know,
it.
you've got to enjoy your skin, you know, enjoy who you are.
Realise that you're blessed, you know.
Yeah, you are.
We're blessed. You know, got to give thanks for everything, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, hope you guys have enjoyed this week's episode all about motivation. We'll be back again next week with a brand new episode, of course, so please stay tuned for that. And yeah, we are the Philosophy Podcast. Good night. God bless. Stay motivated. One love.
Yeah.
Yeah.